Good evening, Kaylee. Today is October 1st, 2012, and I just wanted to talk to you about been going on. So, as you know, I didn't make any videos last week, and that was because it was midterms week, and I had four midterms for on Wednesday and Thursday. So I was rather busy. So here we're back to the normal schedule. Here's your Monday video. And there shouldn't be any more service interruptions until we get to finals. Today I'm going to talk to you about cannibalism. I hope you're not even eating anything or have eaten or going to eat, because this will be fairly detailed. Again, anyone else who's watching probably don't want to watch if you're squeamish in any ways. So I don't know how much you know about Native American history, but at one point there was an ancestral Pueblo group in the Chaco Canyon. They were Anasazi, to be more specific. And they kind of built these three or four large dwellings. Only about 5,000 people lived there. It could hold, like if you filled all the rooms to capacity, you could hold probably roughly 10 to 15 times that. So these were obviously like elites. They had offices, they had separate living quarters. These were large stone buildings, 3 or 4 stories high in some cases. Corn, you can only store corn for 3 years before it goes bad, and that's pushing it. Usually, the most quoted number is 2, but 3 is really the limit. So they had a 25-year drought in the middle of New Mexico. Well, it's more like the Four Corners region, but anyway, it was pretty bad. So this whole thing fell apart, and that's why you get these really cool cave dwellings, because those cave dwellings are really easily defended, because a lot of the tribes turned to cannibalism in an effort to either feed or discourage people from cannibalizing. It's not clear why they did it, but they do know that it wasn't like ritualistic, it was like subsistence status, because they mixed the human bones in with the animal bones. One site in particular had around 2,100 complete human skeletons in their midden pile, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's more than just, oh, we killed your chief and ate him. That's, we killed your chief and all of your society and ate them. Um, it's really interesting how they tell that the bones were cremated or were cooked, like meat was cooked on them rather than a cremation, because bone exfoliates when it's heated to high temperatures, say put in a fire. So what that means is like the outer hard layer of the bone comes off and it leaves just the inside layer of the bone. And that's what you see a lot in cremations. The whole bone is like that. But if someone's cooking a bone to eat the flesh off it, the part of the bone that has flesh on it won't be cooked that much, because you don't want to do that. You would have to burn all the meat off the bone first. So you can really tell, like, that's one of the really leading ways that you can tell, like, jawbones, where the chin part will be really cracked and like distorted, but these really thin bones up here, nothing's wrong with them. They're just, these bones should go before this big heavy bone, but because there's muscle here and someone wanted to eat that. Exactly. Um Another really interesting thing that they did is they would break all the bones to get the marrow out of them. I mean, all the way down to they would break the lobes off the spinal column, all of them. In 2100 In the 2,100 skeletons looked at in this one site, not a single intact vertebra was found. Not a single one. I mean, some vertebrae are really small. You must be pretty desperate to want to eat bone marrow from some, like, that's a lot of effort for a little tiny bit of bone marrow. And the other reason they know that things were being eaten was they would boil the bones in clay pots, and the way that they can tell is, so when they would make these large clay pots and they'd throw all the bone pieces in. They'd throw all the bone pieces in to boil them to like make a stock or a stew. And the insides of the ceramic pots were rough, so it would polish the edges of the bones as the water was boiling. So I mean, just like the way that you can tell if a society's gone cannibalistic is really interesting. I mean, I hope it's nothing that we ever have to resort to, but I just think that like the physical anthropology or the study of dead bodies is really, like, it was really cool to have someone who is super passionate about, you know this is what it looks like exactly when someone's been cannibalized and all you have are their bones, and how to tell like there was a culture that would ritually eat a body, but it would be a family member's body, and like the idea was like that you're taking the family member within yourself and like you're keeping them close. But then the bones would be, if you went to all of the work to cook a body, which is a lot of work, people are heavy, you got to do it in stages because of how thick a person is, etc., etc. In addition, apparently, if you want to roast bones, you put or you want to roast someone's brain, you put the body face up because it's a better conductor of heat that direction rather than face down for whatever reason. Um, Also, you have to be careful about mad cow disease because it is transmittable through human brain matter. So, if you have a choice between an arm and a brain, go for an arm. It's not going to kill you. That is my video. I hope you found it insightful. I can't wait to see your video tomorrow, and I will talk to you later.